let's talk about it, man. Ben Simmons. Is this the last we've seen of Ben Simmons officially with the Philadelphia 76ers?
Yes.
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 That can't be salvaged.
Philly's first of all, just in general, Philly's a tough place to play at in any aspect of any sport whatsoever. No matter if it's boxing, football, baseball, basketball, they threw snowballs at Santa Claus. I mean, they are really good in Philly.
Balls of ice is what they were debated to be.
Right. But I just think just the organization didn't do right by him. They didn't. I mean, as much as people rightfully so had the right to get on him, like you passed up an upper layup for what? It's a mental, and for him, it's a mental thing. I think if you look at his form isn't that bad.
It's not.
It's more. Mental. It's a mental block.
He has low mental toughness.
He has a mental block. He has to get over it. And he won't do it in Philly because they already showed they don't believe in him enough to help him get over that hump. But Philly also, if you look at the history, of Philly. Philly as an organization has the habit of doing this to a lot of their stars. They did it with Charles Barkley. They did it with Allen Iverson. They're doing it with Ben Simmons.
To be fair, though, they never gave AI that kind of slack because AI at least played hard.
AI played hard. AI got it. He
earned their respect.
He got it from the organization, but the masses didn't. The masses, and when the masses attacked him, the organization didn't protect him.
Yeah,
I feel it.
If we want to get technical, and eventually they got so tired of him, they shipped him to Denver for nothing.
A lot of people would make the argument about this situation with Ben Simmons, Sean. They say, you know what? Ben Simmons, he got the big contract.
Yeah.
He's had at least 3 or 4 years to work on his game, develop the outside shot, or at least develop some kind of shot from 10, 15 feet that you can bank on.
The year before.
And now he wants out after he didn't play good. Like, could you see that side of it? Or has this just been a situation where the organization, I mean, Doc throwing him under the bus, Joel throwing him under the bus, that's the main reason. What do you think?
Well, see, now here's where I could definitely see it from both sides.
Yeah, he got to take blame for that too.
But here's where I find it a little bit tough. I personally think when Philly drafted him, obviously it was a part of the process with him and Embiid.
Yeah.
They wanted him, they had enough confidence in him to be, then they wanted him to be the number 1 or the number 2 guy.
Yeah.
Can we all agree with that?
That's right.
Okay,
That's
number
right.
1. Yeah. Number 2, they just gave him a 5-year extension. Just a year before, still got 4 years on that contract.
Yeah.
Number 2. Number 3, they have shown that they are willing to work with him in the offseason.
For sure.
They have shown that they're willing to put Seth Currys around him and Danny Greens and even a couple years before. Put shooters around him to build around him because we want you to basically be a Draymond or a little bit better than Draymond type of player. Now, here's where I got to put it on the player. At the end of the day, you have to want to work on your game. Number 1. Number 2, you also have to have the mental capacity and the mental toughness to play and be the number 1 or number 2 guy, which he hasn't shown, and he is not. I don't think he can be a number 1. He has shown it in the playoffs and in the regular season. When it matters, you can't count on him at the end of games. And he doesn't like being in those pressure moments. So this is where one of the few times Sean P will actually lean with the organization because it's not that I like Daryl Morey. I'm not a Sixers fan, but at the end of the day, you've had several seasons to where I've seen Donovan Mitchell improve. I've seen Jamal Murray improve. I've seen De'Aaron Fox, shout out to the Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox improve. I've also seen John Morant come into the league with barely any jumper improve and at least be willing to
now
take the jumper.
Ja's going crazy.
That's my thing. So at the end of the day, it comes down to the player. And mind you, and I'm going to let AC go in a second.
Yeah, no worries.
I need Ben Simmons to at least want to shoot, want to have the ball at the end. Giannis is a horrible free throw shooter historically.
He'll go.
What did he do?
He scored 50. He made every free throw.
What did he do when it mattered? He made 20-something free throws.
The God.
And it's funny because
come on.
It's funny because like he's not a good
No,
Giannis isn't a good three-point shooter. But for some reason, like he would throw a pump fake and people would
see,
and it's like, just do it.
He actually attempts
just do it. And every now and then want to going off the glass and going.
Exactly.
But I think it's like perfect what you two said. I think the biggest thing is it's mentally because you see these clips of players like in the offseason, like you see Hoodie Melo, balling.
Yeah.
And that's how everyone's like, Melo can still do it. And he goes out here, he does it. And you see these clips of all these other guys go out and do it. And you see the clips of Ben Simmons in the offseason shooting.
Yeah, he's in there again.
In the games, it's like
hesitating.
He doesn't even want to shoot.
Right.
It's like, what the hell are all these clips for?
It's like you're not confident in it at all.
Yeah,
I don't need to see clips in the offseason. That's 3 off seasons in a row we've been seeing.
Exactly.
You're doing turnaround fadeaways. And you're doing
Yeah, I just my problem with Ben Simmons is just like with how I begin on Andrew Wiggins a lot. I give him credit; he played decent.
He did play better.
You gave Wiggins his props as the season went along. I give you respect for that.
But Ben Simmons is the same player he was at LSU.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing's changed at all.
Yeah.
At all.
He got naturally he grew to his body. He got bigger physically, but is he over as a skill wise as a basketball player? Did he get?
He actually even used to shoot more than Mount Vernon. To be honest,
he's essentially the same person he was when he came out of college. That's not good.
My argument though is this, okay? Because we can talk about this all day long. This is a situation now where the Sixers are going to have to come to the realization that either we are going to make one last push to fix it, which I think is past their prime. Because it's not just the Sixers now. The city, you got people on news, actual news stations putting trash cans up and saying, oh, we found Ben Simmons in the city. You got fans on Twitter, stuff like that. And now the situation is, okay, most people think this is unfixable. I can respect that. Now, what are we going to do? Because you have to move him. And the NBA is not dumb. They know that they're in desperation mode. So now it's a situation where it's like, what are we shopping for? Because you're not going to get the same return that they want. This whole notion, anyone's going to give a first-round pick for Ben Simmons. We don't even know if Ben Simmons is going to be productive ever again.
But that's what I'm saying. And to be honest with you, if I'm another team and I'm another organization as well, what would I actually give up for what we have seen from Ben Simmons? Because mind you, you're also, not only do you give contracts based on future projection, but you're also making a trade on future potential and future projection as well. So what would you even want to give up for what Ben Simmons has actually shown us? That's why, to me, now they're in a very tough spot because every team knows De'Aaron Fox and Halliburton are not getting traded.
No, we're not doing that.
So now you either
that's off the limits. Yeah. And off nights down off the table as well.
That's off the limits. So you got the Warriors?
No.
And you possibly have the Clippers that can do a deal like that to where he would probably want to go. Now, if I'm Daryl Morey, I'm sending him to, I may even send him to Toronto. I may send him to the Hornets somewhere or something.
What about the Rockets?
No, because they're gonna want either Green or Wood,
and that's the only problem. That's
who's that other dude? Kevin Porter.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna want one of those three.
Ain't giving all them up because they already got the young pieces now, and that's where Philly's going. And I can see Philly standing pat.
Philly's also in a tight spot because one, what does a team want to give up for him? Secondly, a team not gonna give you what you're asking for because you want a time limit. Season starts in a month. Training camp is a couple weeks away. He said
and it's open to the fans.
He said he's not reporting to camp.
It's open to the fans.
At this point, you gotta give him up for whatever.
There's gonna be actual Sixer fans in training camp.
Yeah. I believe him. I don't think he's sliding to camp. I really don't think he's coming to camp.
And the difficult thing now is like with social media and everything that like you said, the fans in Philly are difficult.
Ruthless.
It's like when someone says they don't like you, you're like, well, I don't like you either. Like if he's like, I don't want to come to training camp. Now the fans are like, well, we don't want you at training camp.
Donovan McNabb took him to like 4 straight NFC Championship games, and they still hated him.
That's what I was saying. It's a tough. I mean,
still,
he won. Philly's a very tough.
There's been a few athletes in Philly history that was beloved. Dr. J. Smoking Joe Frazier.
True.
Who else can I name?
AI.
I might be about Bart. No, I might be about it.
Yeah, that's about
it.